It's time. No rest for the wicked. So on my blog, I really go to bat for like Tumblr's poll blogs, like the have you read this book or have you read this queer book or whatever, and I love it, especially because we have now got book cover tournaments and it's fantastic. Do you remember when when I decided I was going to do a series of making outfits based on book covers? The need to get back to that is kind of consuming me at the moment. But we have like 19 days and 3,000 words of the book that I said I was going to publish. None of it is coherent. We are so far behind with the blog and Y25 and Y24 and what was the other thing? Oh my god. So I started watching Nicole Rudolph. And I have to admit that I'm like very intrigued about shoemaking at this point. So I'm gonna ask patrons very nicely to please, at the end of the year, have mercy and do not select that option for Y26.
Knead until very smooth at around 5 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, it doesn't smell nice.
So it went down really well, and I'm glad. Cleanup is not going to be fun, but the high will sustain me. So the plan had been to take the dough that we didn't use and make some more pancakes because one of my friends hadn't been able to make it to the evening, and I do not think I will be doing that, with apologies. We do have some of those left over anyway. I just do not have the strength for that. And then tonight. And once again, my sweet little boy has been moved, and I don't like it. My friend who came round for dinner gave me this. You're the snake. Such a sweet wee thing, right? All of these were on the stand, the bedside table. And I'm not quite sure where they're going to go yet. So the gold is so bright because it was quite tarnished, and Mum got in some gold leaf. She used to do a lot of like interior stuff, and so she was really excited about the chance to try this. And it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. It's also gotten everywhere. So like there are still specks of gold just scattered about the house, which is absolutely lovely in my opinion. If you watch like the December vlogs, you see that we usually kind of try to scatter glitter outside for the reindeer to find us, and always ends up blowing directly in my face and also into the house. And so it's really nice to just like all year you go through the hall and you just catch this glitter out of the corner of your eye, and it's so lovely. And the gold is just added to it. It's beautiful. So I'm not going to say this is bad. It is the first note I made back in 2019. So it's a while ago, and I was quite a bit younger than I am now. And there is something unpolished about it, which I think is charming, because this is very lovely for me, even if my wrists really hurt. And apparently I cannot physically write without hunching. But there's this little bit, and it's just set my brain on fire. Like, I cannot believe I forgot this. And it's about duty and loyalty and what it means to serve and what it looks at like nationhood, which is a thing that I generally don't tend to think about. And yeah, like, before I got to the end of this paragraph, what came to mind was, I think it was maybe an Islamic scholar who was like, Satan is the one true deist because he's the one who venerates God above all, and that is why he fell. And so, this is doing real good things to me. Do not got time to work on it, but fascinating. Oh, maybe this might be a Tuesday girl. Keep my eye on the chamber door. It might fit with her. So I thought that it would be a good idea to follow more music polls on Tumblr. And I don't think it's wrong. But I've suddenly, like, it's ballooned up to like 50 to 100 tabs are now open exclusively on my phone about like this song versus this song, or have you listened to this album? And yeah, just the sheer rate of them is kind of scaring me, especially because another the Fuck You Up music bracket is taking submissions for its next round. But also, like, it's so nice. So there's a book tour that I'm part of, and I've decided to review the book, even though I have a policy against reviewing AI because it is non-fiction. And even though it was an image, like, I've spoken to some people, and generated by DALL-E is something that they don't recognize as AI, and I feel like it really needed to be more specific and explicit with that. And since I'm going to comment on it anyway, I might as well earn credits, I just want to specify what I'm doing here, because I'm not changing my policy overall. And yeah. So I had a thought about Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, and then I went to have a shower, as you do, and suddenly a whole world appeared. And I think if it weren't so scattered, in the sense of like this would be a series, that I would do this for 7 and 7. Because it's really good. It's excellent. It is very midst-y. It is at the moment taking like the aesthetic of broadly like the Chinese railroad workers. I don't know enough about the history, and I would look into that, which is also something that I don't think I'd have time to do if I were doing this for 7 and 7. But gotta work on it at some point. It's great.
dark side, I wanna be your left hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat, cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I'll lay there running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side, I wanna be your left hand man.
The worst of the cold is over, though still not a very pleasant midnight snacking. I, against my better judgment, decided to watch the finale of Critical Role, and all I can say is we're on day like 38 out of 49 to write, edit, and get this novella ready to publish. I still haven't watched the gun restoration videos, and this has not helped. I am more confident than ever that I am going to do a good story. That's mean. But I certainly can't do worse than campaign 3. I stopped watching and immediately unfollowed like the Tumblr campaign 2 rewatch blog. And I don't know. I think that was impetuous in the moment, but it just... none of it was earned, and none of it was... that's not fair. They did have some good moments, but narratively, just like none of it fit, and none of it had any stakes. We are 121 episodes in, and I'd say you've made the world state worse. You've made it rife for cults, except for the fact that nothing has changed. And you don't even have the guts to make them the bad guys. They just are nothing, have no motivation, and I need to feel some level of stress about what I'm doing, and I just can't. Because I see this shit and it's like, oh, I cannot do worse than that. I'm gonna be fine. I don't know, man, it sucks because I really love this world, and it's such an interesting world state that they've potentially created, and none of it's going to mean anything. So I don't even know if I want to come back for any future stuff. And really, this was the kind of big push that got me into D&D in the first place. And I just wish it were better, because the series also sucked. The animated series, season 3, was just fucking awful, man. Whatever juice they had, I think they fucking lost it. Look. My snake dice, which I got for the Year of the Snake, have arrived. They're really, really nice. I'm only sorry that you didn't get to see Mum's face when she was listening to Friday for the first time, because I knew it would be good. Like, fully spoilers, but like, when it won, I don't think she understands. Extremely nice to have hit 5 o'clock, and they're still charging with sunlight. I'm going to just throw in a recommendation for this video right here. How to Identify Quality in Clothing by Bernadette Banner, and also this one by Abby Cox. I also may have signed myself up for a readathon. Like, not literally, but I saw it and I'm like, I want to do that. And it's a good job that it intersects with, because I am absolutely full enough that I would attempt to make a dress for it. The conceit is, you know, like, you're going to a ball. And so the prompts are all like, what are you wearing? Who are you going with? But yeah, this might be a month of getting back to textiles, not least of which is this scarf, which is due on the 12th. Because I'm me. You know what I just realised in the blog? I'm not supposed to be posting 2025 book releases every Monday. I'm supposed to be doing it every second Monday, because an A to Z, finishing off fantasy and then starting off romance, was supposed to be every second Monday. And I just haven't been working on that series at all. And I'm so out of practice now. Oh, this is not good. So I've just watched Beautifully Bookish Bethany's video on the 75 Hardstyle Challenge, and I really like the sound of that. I think I'm going to do something like it. The guidelines are: get dressed every day for 75 days, document your daily outfits, don't buy anything new, set your own challenge goals and intentions, get creative, organise and clean out your wardrobe. And like, buying clothes is not a problem, because the only time I really get new clothes is Christmas and my birthday. I'm not a big clothes shopper. I like to look at clothes. I like to dream about owning them, but I don't really go for that. I do think, however, kind of cataloguing what I wear, I know I wear a lot of the same things, and I think I would like to see what comes of documenting that. I would also, because this is for the channel, I would also like to make clothes. And I think this could be really fun. So when I say this scarf is due on the 12th, I mean I have until... generally I need to be finished on the 11th. How do we think what I'm going to do? How do we think I'm going to fare? Because I'll do it, but I don't think it's going to be fun for anyone. What would compel a person to put this song against this song? So this week's book is a Cassandra Cole one, which I was very worried about because I've read a lot of criticism of their work recently because of the Critical Role book, which I quite like it though. I think the thing that stuck out was saying that they wrote like the A to Gothic thesaurus, and I can't necessarily say that's wrong, but I quite like it. So I have 48 tabs currently open on my phone that are exclusively the "Have you heard this album?" polls, and It's a little bit daunting. I'm really looking forward to trying out the Sammy ones though. There's this band called Isaac, I think, that I've been meaning to listen to for years, and I just have never gotten around to it. Because, am I me if I don't run around like a headless chicken? Today is going to be like fully a knitting day though, because it is the last day before the birthday in which the scarf is due, and I'm kind of panicked. I have had my donut. I have my Lucozade to hand. I'm probably going to have a sugar crash in about an hour, but we have this much left on the scarf. I'm going to start with Days of More by Rake. I haven't looked up the pronunciation, apologies. That's Spanish. And A Day Without Rain by Enya. So a little bit of a between album break. Entirely not what I was expecting. It's a naked woman on the cover, and I guess kind of assumed. Very kind of more acoustic-y pop than I was expecting. Vocal pop with a few like more up-tempo tracks. The first one gave me quite a fright. I was like, what is this? And there was a section just a few seconds long, really, where the guitar kind of reminded me of a Beach Boys song. Tell a lie. I have actually partially heard this album. I know the song Only Time. So, sorry for your poll. Still have quite a ways to go. I am quite worried though, because it has just occurred to me that I have fucked this up quite royally. It's 26 wide. I think I should probably have gone with 20. It's certainly wider than I think Dad likes. Last update. I cried hard enough to have to lie down several times. The end just sucks. He clung to life so long. I think of Tangiro's speech, and they got to go home, live, find peace, grow old. Reincarnation into the modern day when nothing that happened matters to any of these characters. Twice this month, the creators got so precious about the work that they pulled punches for an empty gesture and a too neat bow. I'm not angry. I think if you had gotten to me like 5 hours ago, I might have been angry about this, but I still am angry at Critical Role, for one, and for two. Crying is exhausting. And I was already pretty... Yeah, this wasn't the break that I was hoping for. A lot of blood, sweat and tears. This morning, last night. And we're just gonna hope that it is good enough. I really enjoyed Tracy Chapman's self-titled. I didn't expect the love songs to be the least interesting of them to me. I think you can express a very simple sentiment very beautifully, and I think she did, but not in a way that particularly drew me to the songs. I hearted Behind the Wall and Talking About Revolution because obviously Fast Cars is already in there. But yeah, it was really good. Some of the tabs on my phone, I cleared 2 and replaced them with like 5. On a side note, Tumblr, if I like a blog, I want to see all of the posts that they make, not just some of them. Let me make my terrible decisions, okay? So the first one from that was Mama's Gun by Erykah Badu, and I have heard Erykah Badu before, but I mean sonically when the album started, it was just like really interesting, and I really appreciated that. It's probably the most interesting in that regard out of all of them so far. What a voice, though, very individual. It wasn't the most enjoyable to me, but I did like it in the sense that it was interesting and it was different. And I mean, there's okay. I have not got my thoughts clear on this, so I'm not going to waste your time with flailing about. And I'm going to need you, including myself here. I'm talking to myself too, to be grown up about this. The album Fanny by Fanny. I like rock better, but not really this era, it came out in 1970. It's a little bit too jangly for me. But the submitter said this album is the very first full-length album released on a major record label by a rock band of all women in history. And if that's true, that's really cool, and also like part of why I wanted to do this. The only one that really stood out to me was Conversation with a Cop, which I hearted. In a sense, there is a little bit of like, oh, as a woman, I can kind of relate. But also, I used to sneak out of the house at like 3 in the morning when I was 9, 10. And so on that wavelength, I really got it. The next album is Reflections by Hannah Diamond, and I just gotta say, I'm really disappointed that my title recommendations haven't really changed. I know that I haven't really been keeping up with the music as much as I wanted to, but I mean, there's a little bit more Celtic Woman, but I've been listening to like a bit more Lorena McKenna anyway, so I don't think Enya really affected that. So in my ever-losing battle with the tabs, we are going to be listening to this one, and then this one. I'm still working on editing my book, so while I do like to look at the lyrics, it's not. We're probably going to be more going off of vibes for these two. Also, we have these because Monday I have to post 2025 books that are coming out in whatever fucking genre. So, it's not that I wasn't working on holiday, but there's no rest once you're back. Now, I said that I wasn't going to pick a project until 7 and 7 starts. And I said I was going to talk about the idea that came to me during Hadestown. Because ouch. But tell me that's not something. So in one of the 3 rooms that I've been to in this house, since getting up. I've managed to misplace my needles, so I can't show you them because I'm pretty sure I used them on chunky wool, and this is Aaron. And we finally know what we're doing with this, well, at least some of it, for Mother's Day. So we're going to start on that if I can find them. Far worse albums out there than Hive Mind by the Internet, but I think that's one of the few ones that I didn't listen to all the way through because, I mean, the smooth vocals and the very textured instrumentation was really lovely, but it's A, not my kind of music, and B, I found a song that I really quite liked, and then it ended on like this guy ranting about bitches and women being bitches, and I was like, oh, first song I liked, and that's not really a, yeah, I think not.